Hey there, today I'm going to show you how to draw Zoro from One Piece. So let's start with his left side, with his eye. So I'm just going to be drawing his head and his upper torso for today. So let's start on the outside of his eye. And we're going to work our way to the inside with a slightly curved but straight line across. On the end here, I'm going to angle down a line. And then below here, I'm going to draw the bottom eyelid. So I'm going to imagine this line coming out this way. Come down at an angle, curve up the bottom, and then just kind of tuck this line underneath like so. And at the top here in the middle of the eye, I'm just going to draw a little black pupil. Now here is where I want to draw the eyebrows. So I'm going to start in here and draw a curve going up to the top of the eyebrow. And then from here, I'm just going to bend this down. Now I can go ahead and just color this in a little bit thicker on the inside. So it gets a little bit thick as it comes down to the bottom. And then from this edge, I'm just going to turn that up slightly. Now I'm going to move up to the right side a bit and just draw another wrinkle, just for a little bit more of a frown line. And then right here where the eye at the bottom ends, I'm just going to draw a curve along the bottom, just for a little bit of an eye bag. And then above this eyelid, I'm going to draw a straight line across, tucking in underneath that eyebrow. Okay, so there's the one eye. Let's move over to the right. But this eye, I'm going to put the actual scar over his eye, so it's going to be a closed eye. So let's move over here. I'm going to draw the inner part of the eyebrow first, so like this edge here. Then from here, I'm going to curve up to the top of the eyebrow, and then curve down on the ends. And again, I'm going to go in and just color in the inside, just to make it a little bit thicker. Let's draw the eye. So I'm going to start on the inside here. I'm going to draw a curve going up. I'm going to come across and sort of curve it upwards, then angle down on one side. And again, like I did here, I'm going to draw a double eyelid, but I'm just going to make this a short one across. And then from here, I'm just going to draw a little bit of a wrinkle inside the eye. And then across here, I'm just going to draw the scar. So up about here, I'm going to work my way down to about here, with a curve that kind of bows outwards. And if I want, I can go in and just kind of thicken up the center part of it, and it basically tapers off as it gets to the ends. Okay, let's get down to the nose. So here, right about here, I'm going to come down. I want the nose to be pretty low, so right about here, I'm going to curve out, and then to my finger, I'm going to do a straight line, right to my finger there. And from this point, I'm just going to curve out on both sides, so just curving these two lines outwards. And then from here, I'm going to do a straight line into that nose bridge. Let's get into the mouth. So the mouth is quite wide, so it almost goes to the center of each eye. So if I look here, I'm going to draw a straight line across just underneath that nose, and then I'm going to curl up the ends of the mouth. It's kind of like a grin. And then below that mouth, I'm just going to draw the bottom lip wrinkle. So it's a little straight line across. Let's actually draw a little bit more wrinkles in the forehead here. So right about here, I'm going to draw a curve that goes up. Then above the eyebrow, we want to make the eyebrow look like it's actually sticking out a little bit. So I'm going to draw a line across here, and line across here, maybe double that up like so. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, now let's get down to the chin. So the chin is pretty pointy. I want to start right about here. So I'm going to put a point here as a reference, and going straight out towards the jaws. So I'm going to put a point here, and a point here, right in line with that mouth. So from here, I'm going to draw a curved chin. So let's curve that chin out and just round it out to start. Then from here, I'm going to go straight to that point. I want to make my line straight. So then here I'm going to go above the eyes, but the head sort of flares out a little bit. So I'm going to put a point of reference just at the same height as the top of the eyebrows, going across right about there. And I'm going to go down and then sort of round out the jaw. I come down, I'm just going to round out the jaw a little bit. Alright, that's cool. Let's get into the ear. So let's start with the left ear first. From here I'm going to curve up, curve down, and then I'm going to sort of do a sharper turn into the head. Inside here, let's draw some of the ear details. So from here, I'm going to round out the inside. Then here, I'm just going to do a curve that hooks around the inside. And right above here, I'm just going to do an overlap and pull that line down. Let's go over to the right side. And this one, we're going to do a little bit different because it's got 3 earrings in here. So let's start by doing the same thing. Let's go up to the top. And then we're going to curve down to the bottom. Now here I'm going to draw the 3 earrings. So starting on the inside, I'm going to draw a very elongated oval, kind of angled this way. And draw another one right beside it of the same size. and draw a third one right there. And below each one, I'm going to draw a little circle. And then below this, I'm going to draw what looks like, it's almost like a raindrop shape. So just kind of long, and it kind of tapers inwards, like so. Now I'm going to imagine this flipped over underneath here. So I'm going to take this line and just kind of tuck it in behind the earrings, just to kind of angle it down. And then again, like I did here, I'm going to start at the bottom here, curve up, and hook this around. And again, do a little overlap, just bring that line down like so. Let's get into the hair. I'm going to start with the inner edge of the hair first before I do the outside, just because it's a little bit easier to do it that way. Start here, around the center of the ear. I'm going to draw a line angled down on both sides. And I'm going to go from left to right just to make sure I'm balancing this out. I'm going to follow this line on the inside here and go up, just above that eyebrow, on both sides. And then from here, I'm just going to angle down slightly. And then from here, I'm going to go up in an angle. So that same angle, going up, roughly, yeah, that's about a good height. Right about here, so the top of the forehead will end up right about here. He's got a pretty high forehead. So from here, I'm just going to curve around, start to make my way towards the center of the forehead, or the widow's peak. So here, if I imagine this curve going this way, along the way, I'm going to have to draw some hair spikes coming down. So here, I'm going to draw a spike, another one, and let's do an overlap one, a little bit longer. And then right in the center of the forehead, I'm going to draw a dot. And I'm going to draw a line like so. Here I'm going to go across. I mean, again, I'm trying to make my way to here, but along the way, I have to draw some of these hair bangs. And we'll just tuck this in like so. Draw a little hair strand there. Now, along the outer or the inner edge, I just want to draw a couple little lines, just pulled out, just to show the sort of the direction of the hair. So it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to match mine, just kind of all the way around this area. Now, for the outer edge of the hair, it's pretty puffy and pretty almost roundish. So I'm going to start at the top edge of these ears, make my way, and I can actually use reference points. So at the top point, I probably want to stop right about here. So I'm going to put a point here. On the corners, I just want to go probably right about here or so. So I'm going to put a point here and a point here. Okay, so I'm going to basically go all the way up to meet that point, but along the way, I'm just drawing zigzags. Do the same for this side here. And they don't have to be all the same size. They can sort of vary in length. Now I'm going to round this top out, so I'm just making my way over. Again, checking to make sure that I'm sort of aimed right there. Make some of them longer than others. Okay, and as I get to the top here, I'm just going to change direction. And make my way down. So you can see that the hairs are sort of starting to turn this way. And I'm going to go a little bit longer, like so. And then inside here, I'm just going to draw some little hash lines that sort of follow the direction of the hair. So kind of doing this sort of thing. And it could be pretty random. On the side here, I'm just going to close it off a couple lines. So let's get into some of the body. So he's got a pretty long neck. I'm going to bring the neck down to about here, and it kind of flares out just to make him look a little bit stronger. So right about here, on the inner part of the jaw, I'm going to angle a line down on both sides. Same height. Let's draw a little bit of neck detail. So from here, I'm just going to hook that line in, and hook this line in just for the throat detail. From here, I'm going to curve out the shoulders. And then from this point, I'm going to round out the shoulders. So rounding them out. Okay. Let's draw the collar. So he's got the 3-button shirt that he wears all the time. So here, right about the midpoint of the shoulder, I'm going to come down straight on both sides. Here, I'm going to curve in. This side, I'm going to curve in. Now, the overlap. So here, I'm going to come down and go up. Almost like a J shape, and then go across. Here, I'm going to curve this in and tuck that in underneath that point. Just move over a bit. I'm going to follow this same contour right over here and bring this in kind of like so. At the bottom here, I'm going to draw a line straight across. And follow that same contour, poke out like I did here, and go straight up. And let's draw the 3 buttons. So starting at the top, we'll do 1, 2, 3. Here I'm just going to draw 3 slits. Let's draw a little bit of edging detail. So I'm going to follow the same contour along this line, but just leave a little bit of a gap all the way around. So let's draw on some collarbone. So here's the center of his collar. From here, I'm going to go at an angle on either side of my finger. And then from this side, I'm just going to angle down and tuck that in underneath that shirt. Let's draw a little bit of the shirt. So here, the armpits, I'm just going to curve, angle down like so. Here, I'm going to flare the cuffs of the sleeve out and then round that out and tuck that in underneath the body. And then again, like I did with the collar, I'm just going to double thicken that up. And then right here, I'm just going to pull in a bit and just pull 2 straight lines down. Maybe do a wrinkle across here. And that's essentially it. There we have it. There's Zoro from One Piece. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Please make sure you check out our anime playlist. I have a ton of characters in there. Tell your friends about us, get them to subscribe, and we'll see you again soon.